And when you stick to the code, you win the game, you know? Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title, we're going to be talking about how to carry yourself with grace. I don't really have a reason why I wanted to make this video, but I wanted to talk about this topic because, you know, the older I get, the more I realize how important it is to carry yourself with grace, because that is really the only way that keeps you from being a crash out and from going to jail and doing things that you really don't want to do, right? But before we get into that, y'all, please, if you find any value from this video, please leave a like or a comment down below. It really helps my channel out and it helps me to know that you like videos like these. And go ahead and follow me on my new Instagram right down below on the screen, and we're gonna get right into it. So number one, let's start with our emotional regulation and our emotional hygiene and our spiritual hygiene. First, we have to understand that our time, our money, our attention, and our energy is our number one priority. And not it should be my number one priority, but it is my number one priority. How you decide to spend your time, your money, your energy, your attention will have an effect on the quality of your life. And sometimes it can affect your character, because if you're investing all these important and precious things to you on toxic people and in the wrong environments and doing the wrong things, it'll make you a people pleaser. It'll make you not have any boundaries or any standards. Then in the long term, whenever you're in a relationship or whenever you're friends with people or around certain family members, certain workspaces, whatever the case may be, whenever your time, your money, your attention, and your energy is not reciprocated, now all of a sudden you start feeling resentment. And when you start feeling resentful, then that results in you being the worst version of yourself, doing things that you usually wouldn't do, doing things that you've never done, acting in ways that you have never acted before. And what life is trying to show you, if that's the case, is that these people, these places, these environments are not for you, and that you have to learn how to start prioritizing your own time, your own energy, your own attention, your own money. All of these things are very important to you, and along with carrying yourself with grace, because you can't carry yourself with grace if you're always giving attention to things that don't matter, giving attention to haters. You can't carry yourself with grace and move yourself forward if you're always giving everybody your money and people pleasing and not having standards and letting people run all over you and do whatever it is that they want to do to you. You will never have that if you allow people to take advantage of all of these things that should be important to you. And something just as important is that you have to really protect your energy and your attention. Yes, we know we have to protect our money and we have to protect our time, but one of the most important things for you to do anything in this life is your attention and is your energy. You have to know that there are miserable people in this world who aren't doing the work, and because they're not doing the work, they want to see you with your light dim. And the reason that they do this is because they lack so much control or so much attention, prosperity in their own lives, and that causes them to literally do anything to get your attention and to get your energy because they thrive on it. Like I said in my last video, there are going to be people that don't like you just because you don't perform, or just because you don't stroke their ego, or just because you exist, or whatever the reason for being that they don't like you. You're always going to have people that don't like you. But one of the most important toxic people that you have to look out for and stay away from are those people who want to drain you of your energy. And even beyond that, they want to drain you of your literal essence. Like, some people will literally go so hard because attention isn't enough. Your validation isn't enough. They want to see you gone because your light just cannot be dim, no matter how much hate they throw at you, no matter what they say about you, no matter what they think about you, no matter what they do to break you down. You just won't go down. You keep getting up. You keep getting up every time. So they're going to do everything. They're going to pull out every little stop. And every time you prove to them that you're stronger than their attacks, that you're stronger than what they're trying to do to you, they want to see you gone. And they will literally stop at nothing to get that result. And those are like the narcissistic people, sociopathic people, psychotic people, whatever the case may be. And this is not to like diss them or harm them, because they are struggling with a mental illness. But at the end of the day, they can be harmful, so we have to protect ourselves from those types of people. It is so serious, y'all. Spiritually, if you know that you are a person with a bright light and that you're here to do great things, you have to protect yourself. You really have to watch your back. It's like, yeah, you can know you the ish, but you gotta move different. And having grace allows you to do that, because when you have grace, it doesn't just let you do anything. You have things and ways that you move. You have a way that you operate. And when you stick to the code, you win the game, you know? And don't let anybody in your life ever think that they are bigger than the program. I know I said this in my last video, but I'm gonna keep saying it until everybody gets it. Like, nobody is bigger than the program. So just because they feel like that you should do X, Y, and Z with your life because they said so, or that you should be this way because they said so, or you should think this way because they said so, or that's how they think, doesn't matter. As long as you're happy with what's going on in your program, that is all that matters. So where our attention goes, our energy flows. So to carry ourselves with grace, is very important that we do invest it into the right things that keep us graceful, that keep us peaceful, that keep us calm, that keeps us in an emotional state of neutrality, you know, where we're not wanting to crash out, or we're not feeling depressed, we're not feeling feeling angry or wanting to fight or whatever the case may be. Where we're just being ourselves. We're existing, we live however we live, and that's just what it is. But when you invest your time, your money, your attention, and your energy into the wrong things, it can cause a leak in your spirit. If you ever see somebody and it just always feels like they have like a dark cloud over their head, I feel like that's because they might have a leak in their spirit. I feel like you kind of have to be paying attention to literally everything going wrong in your life, not wanting to focus on the positive, not wanting to change anything, whatever the case may be for them, and it just creates this looming dark energy around people. And I feel like that's because you allowed that leak in your spirit because you were too worried about the things that were making you upset, too worried about the things that weren't helping you grow. So we have to protect our attention, because where our attention goes, our energy flows. So if we want good energy, we need to put our attention to things that give good energy. So to protect your attention, your energy, and your spirit, you really have to just invest your energy into the right places and literally ignore all the noise. It doesn't matter what people do or don't like. It doesn't matter what they would do if they were you, what they could do if they were you. It doesn't matter if they don't see your vision, whatever the case may be. Don't worry about it. Protect your attention. And instead of crashing out and being that person with a looming cloud over their head, pray about it. Talk to God about it. Literally, like I said in my last video, I'll be talking to God about everything, literally everything, even the stuff that I be ashamed about. Don't feel like you have to perform in order for you to go to God. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to perform. All you need to do is tell him what you're going through, what you need help with, what you would like to improve on, and you will start to see changes in your life as long as you're doing the work as well. Pray about it. God be giving me the answers for stuff. He be talking to me all the time. I just see little signs, hear messages, and I'm just like, you know what? You're right. You're talking to me and I hear you. In order to carry yourself with grace, it's very important that you have some sort of spiritual hygiene, some sort of thing that you practice, whether that's Christianity or whatever you believe in. You need somewhere to go to help keep you grounded in that emotional sense, and God will do that. You can also get hobbies, find new things. I literally just discovered, y'all, believe it or not, that I like writing music. I didn't know that until I started doing it, and I was like, you know what? I just found me a hobby. So yes, imagine hating me and I'm in my room writing songs. I'm writing songs. I color, I go shopping, I listen to my music, I make videos. I find things to do with my time rather than crashing out. And focus on your career, focus on your personal goals, focus on improving yourself. When you pour all of your attention, your time, your money, your energy into those things, watch how your life improves. Even though I'm not where I want to be in my life yet, I can't even tell y'all how much I've fallen in love with just the process of doing it. At first it was hard, but as I get older, it's like, dang, I don't even know if I want to do it no more, because I'm cool with becoming the best version of me. Also, to carry yourself with grace when it comes to our emotional regulation is to not engage. You literally have to not engage. Don't engage with haters, don't engage with the noise, don't engage with the negativity. Don't engage. I know a lot of people can be like, oh, if you don't say anything, you must be scary, you don't want to fight, you don't want to stand up for yourself. No, in every situation you don't have to always say something. In most situations, it's actually better to not say anything or to not do anything. Well, I ain't gonna say not do anything because that's kind of a stretch, but don't engage with the negativity and just focus on building yourself in the life that you want. And sometimes not engaging doesn't look like just not clapping back on social media or not getting an attitude or not crashing out on somebody. Sometimes it looks like just removing yourself. Like, you know what? I already see what y'all got going on over here in this environment, so you know what? I'm just gonna take myself out of it and I'm gonna leave y'all alone. We have to get to a point in our lives where we're not trying to change anybody. We're not trying to make people live by how we live, do what we do. You just remove yourself. Like, I'm not gonna go put myself in a club environment and then tell people stop shaking your ass and then, you know, be mad at them for doing that. But it's like, that's what they're doing. If I don't want to shake mine, I'm not gonna go. I don't know why I came up with that example. I can't think of literally any other example, but literally, like, I'm not gonna put myself in an environment or leave myself in an environment that I know is just not for me. And we have to do that with people too. And don't be afraid to utilize your block button. People that know me know I'm quick to block you. And if you ask me why I blocked you, I will tell you exactly why I blocked you. I remember one year somebody asked me, they was like, well, why did you block me? I was like, well, I felt like he was playing with me and I didn't like that, so that's why you're blocked. I'm like, oh, but I what? Well, you're still blocked, you know? Don't be afraid to utilize that block button. I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, you must be hurt if you're blocking me, or you must be bitter. I don't care what you think, baby. I don't want to see you. Out of sight, out of mind, okay? And I don't want you seeing me, quite frankly. So block I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to see you, okay? Also, don't answer the phone. Don't answer messages. You don't have to answer. You are not obligated to do that. Or if you're in a situation where you can't really just remove yourself immediately, you can gray rock. And gray rock is a term that they use in psychology and in therapy environments and stuff. Basically what it means is that you give the person the literal bare minimum, and that's how you can help protect yourself. When they ask you specific questions, you can just give them a yes or no answer, or give them an answer on a need to know basis. It's like, you're not going to be rude, you're not going to be disrespectful, but you're not going to be overly nice and people pleasing either. You're just going to be in a state of neutrality or a state of indifference, and you're just going to give people the bare minimum. I gray rock all the time, especially at work. Like, a lot of people want me to be overly bubbly and overly talkative in a job that I don't need to talk in. So it's like, I'm going to give you the bare minimum. No, I'm not going to go in there and telling you all about my life and all the details about me. I'm not going to be telling you what I do outside of work. I'm not going to be telling you all of this. If you ask me, where is this manager? They're over there. Did you do XYZ? Yes, I did. You don't need to do anything more than that. You don't need to over explain yourself. You don't need to do anything. The bare minimum. And if y'all want to know more about gray rocking, please look that up on YouTube. And Dr. Romney is a good therapist that talks a lot about gray rocking. Next is, you have to learn how to make people feel your boundaries. So a lot of people don't understand talking, you know, and it gets to a point where adults are making choices and conscious decisions to keep up their habitual behaviors of harming you. So it gets to a point where there's nothing much that a conversation can do, and you just get tired and you have to just remove yourself and walk away. And depending on the person, they might try to play victim, they might try to gaslight you, they might try to deflect, play dumb, or don't take accountability. So to carry yourself with grace, it's just best to remove yourself in silence. You know, grown people know what the they're doing. I'm sorry to cuss, but they know what they're doing, and we have to show people that we know what they're doing. I know what you're doing, you know what you're doing, so we don't need to talk about it because you're grown as fuck. So I'm gonna remove myself. And what's even crazier, some of these people are so toxic and caught up in the game of it all, caught up in the ego trip of it all, that whenever you remove yourself silently or you don't clap back, they see all of that as a dig to them, and they don't see it as finality for some odd reason. So we have to show people our boundaries. We have to learn how to show people better than we can tell them, and that's how we carry ourselves with grace, instead of always crashing out, repeating the same things over and over to them and hoping that they get it this time. I mean, that's literally the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. What's the point of that? And we're grown. So remove yourself and make people feel it. Let people feel your absence, because honestly, if they cared enough, they would still be in your life, right? Okay, so overall, stop explaining yourself and do what you need to do for you, and make people feel your boundaries and really stand on them. Really stand on business. Somebody toxic told me that I was giving them hell because I was being silent. I never did anything, never said anything, just ignored, blocked, deleted, and all of a sudden I was giving them hell, and I'm like the worst person on earth. Isn't that crazy? That's how addicted they be to your energy, so you gotta protect that for real. But don't explain yourself, because people are gonna judge you regardless of what you do, and a lot of it is either hate, doubt, or projection. So doesn't really matter anyway. The second point in carrying yourself with grace is going to be your self-respect as a woman. One, you need to start caring about how you present yourself, right? It's not for other people, it is actually for you. For me personally, whenever I'm going through a lot of things and things are just not going right in my life, or I just really feel low about myself, whenever I get up and I make time to put myself together, whether that be full glam one day, a couple of drops of concealer the next day, a little bit of water in my hair one day, you know, whatever that looks like for me that day, I'm going to put myself together to the best of my ability. Because when I look good, I feel good. And when I feel good, I do good. I perform well, right? And I personally love feeling and looking good even when I don't always feel my best. So it's okay for you to put yourself together and feel and look your best every single day. You gotta ditch the belief that you can only dress up on special occasions, or that you're doing too much because you overdressed for an occasion, or that you have to look like your struggle. You do not have to look like your struggle. I don't care who told you that. Like, oh well, if you're going through X, Y, and Z, you can't possibly have on makeup, or you can't look like you have your life together, whatever the case may be. That's not true. I honestly feel like that's kind of a form of oppression. Like, why can't I just find some joy in all this shit that's going wrong? Like, what is up with that? You can look however you want to look on any day. It doesn't matter where you're going. You can go to the grocery store, the post office, the mailbox. I don't care. Wherever you go, you are allowed to look and feel your best. You don't have to look like what you're going through, and it's better that you don't. If you were to look at me, would you be able to tell anything that I'm going through if I didn't tell you? No. And that's the point. That's a good thing. Let people project whatever they want, you know? But the reason why you want to show yourself self-respect in this way by showing up and putting the effort into your look every day is because, one, you never know who you meet for whatever reason. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but you'll never know who you run into for whatever reason. Number two is that people are generally more friendlier, and I'm not saying that it's right or that that's how it should be, but from my experience and from somebody who's kind of been on both sides of the spectrum, I have noticed the difference that people treat me a lot better when I put myself together, and it's definitely gotten me more kindness and more respect, which I guess people feel like you don't deserve or need just because they don't find you appealing in whatever way. But I digress. And there's unknown opportunities everywhere. Like, you literally don't know what opportunity that you can run into. You don't know what description you fit, and it's just like, why not make yourself a candidate for the opportunity? Why not? And I know that all of these things can be mistaken as doing it for other people, but in reality, it's not really for other people. It's actually for you and to build you a sense of self and for the bag. You know, everything I do, I've always been assumed to be doing it for a man. Like, I've always been the type to, you know, get dressed just to go to the grocery store, put some perfume on just to go to the grocery store. I don't care. Put a lip combo just to go to the gas station. I don't care. That's just who I am naturally. I don't do it just because I want to impress a man. Imagine doing all of this for a man. Like, imagine me getting up, getting ready to film these videos because I want a man to see me. Or imagine getting up in the morning to get ready for work just because I want a man to see me. Imagine investing into myself and into my goals and my dreams because a man. Now, I'm not a man hater. I'm just saying, like, personally, nothing I do is for a man. It's for me. I don't care what anybody thinks. You can think whatever you want, but I don't do what I do or carry myself the way I do for a man or for any male validation at all. And we have to free ourselves from those people, from people who are male-centered and people who center everything around a man, because those people are dangerous in several different ways, but that's not the topic of this video. Show up for yourself. Put effort into yourself every day and watch how you feel. Next, we're going to talk about standards and boundaries, and not just the ones that you have for other people, but the ones that you have for yourself too. I'm currently learning that I have to stop holding myself to unrealistic expectations and standards and give myself some grace sometimes. But have boundaries and standards that you hold yourself to. Have things that you're passionate about. Have things that you believe in, that you feel a sense of purpose behind. You don't have that sense of purpose, that sense of morale, whatever. When you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, and you become vulnerable to people that want to take advantage of you. Yes, have standards. Yes, have boundaries. It doesn't matter who said that you shouldn't, that you're not allowed to have an opinion, a voice, to have feelings. It doesn't matter. The people that tell us that we shouldn't have boundaries or standards, or that our standards and boundaries are too much, are the same people that benefit from us not having those said boundaries or those said standards. Those standards and boundaries are there to protect us for that reason. And there's so many stories online, millions of stories online of women specifically losing their lives due to having low self-worth and low self-esteem that resulted in them not having standards and not having boundaries and things that they believe in and things that they stand on. People lose their lives behind this stuff. It isn't just something that is Instagram friendly or whatever. This is real life. And carrying yourself with grace and doing the right thing and being the bigger person, doing the beneficial thing for you will always benefit you in the end. Standards are about who you are. Boundaries are about who you are. I can use myself for an example. I know that I'm a lover girl at heart, okay? No matter how people perceive me in real life, I'm a lover girl at heart. That's why I go so hard about me. You have to go so hard about you until you find somebody who doesn't play with you. You can't just entertain anybody. I also know that I'm very sensitive. I'm an emotional person. Not sensitive in the way where, like, if somebody says something mean, I'm gonna cry about it. But, like, I'm sensitive to my emotions, to other people's emotions. I'm sensitive to all types of different things. So I'm not gonna be in a relationship or be friends with people that are emotionally unavailable. I'm not gonna put myself in a relationship where I don't feel like I'm wanted. I'm not gonna put myself in a relationship or in friendships where it feels like I'm a burden, or put myself around people, places, and things that just bring out the worst in me. I'm not gonna do that, because that is the standard that I have for myself. That's the boundaries that I have for myself. And another way I relate this is, like, when I meet people, I'm not gonna try to change those people. I'm not gonna try to get them to subscribe to my program and how I do things. If they want to, that's fine, but I'm not gonna make them, and vice versa. We have to let people be who they are and be ourselves as well, and just run a strict program that's like, okay, well, you can do that over there, but if you want to be around me, this is how it's gonna go. okay? Just have those standards for yourself. Have things that you do and don't do, you know? Stand on something. Define those standards and those boundaries, and then start operating from that place. Start practicing. You don't have to have it perfect or know what to do right off the bat, but we have to start practicing. And when you're trying to define these standards, it can be something like, how do you carry yourself? How do you view life? How do you show yourself love? How do you show yourself grace? How do you make yourself feel safe? These are standards and things that we would expect from other people, so we have to be doing that for ourselves as well. Don't tolerate disrespect from other people, and definitely don't tolerate it from yourself either. So show up every day as the woman that you want to be. I'm a former crash out, okay? And even then, when I was crashing out, I knew I didn't want to be that way forever, and I knew I didn't like feeling that way. And I knew that crashing out would lead to negative consequences. That would lead to me not being my best version of myself and living the life that I want to live and having my freedom and stuff taken away from me. That's why I have standards, and that's why I have boundaries. That's why I go so hard. And when I wanted to stop crashing out, that's when I started practicing detachment. That's when I started learning how to control my emotions. And now today I can say that I've accomplished that personal goal of mine. I'm not a crash out, and there's nothing that you can really do to make me do that. You really have to go hard. Like, you really got to do your big one to make that happen. But overall, even if you don't feel your best, show up as yourself 100% every single day and be the person that you want to be, even though you're not that person yet. You just have to remind yourself that you are that girl, and you can do anything that you put your mind to, and walk in that energy. Claim that energy. Even if that's not the energy you feel like you're in, say that's going to happen for me one day. That's going to be my reality. That's how I'm going to feel about myself. And walk in that energy confidently, even when you don't know what you're doing. But that is pretty much all that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you found any value from it, please leave a like or a comment down below. It really helps my channel out a lot. Y'all, I love each and every one of y'all so much. My phone has been giving me issues with storage, so I gotta go, okay? But I love each and every one of y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video.